What's going on, guys? Back with another one. I'm trying to pump out as many videos as I can so I can get out there and people can see what I'm doing right now. Getting ready for the dyno. So I got hptautosport.com. They hooked it up again and sent me last minute because it was a last minute tune date. Brand new K-tuned 4-bar map sensor. So, and also I just got done putting in my new injectors. The harnesses kind of look like crap, but I can clean that up later when we're done tuning. Unfortunately, that is a GM 3-bar map sensor. This harness is the OEM harness, and I don't have a plug to plug into a freaking map sensor. So, hopefully he has something, or if I may or may not have time to go to a junkyard that's close to work in Knoxville. But these are the old injectors, Precision. They're really good injectors. But I just put South Bay injectors in there, 1000 cc's. These are 550s or 560s. I think they're 550s. I'm a little out of breath because I've been thrashing, because now I'm gonna probably start it just because I want to see what it does with these 1000 cc injectors, to see if I can even get it on the trailer. If not, the old handy dandy winch on Big Black over there is gonna have to come in handy. I'm going to make this a 2-day video in one, depending on how much time we have on the dyno. I get off of work at 3:30, so I'm gonna hopefully get over to Oak Ridge by 4:30, depending on Knoxville traffic. Not as bad as Chicago traffic, but still pretty bad. So the place that I'm going to is Freedom Motorworxx in Oak Ridge. In this area, they come highly recommended for Honda stuff. So if you are in this area and you don't know where to go for Honda stuff, supposedly that's where we got to go. So I'm gonna go and try them out. I know that they are highly recommended. So the guy I talked to seemed to be pretty helpful so far. Hopefully I can kind of get a few pointers from him, because I do want to have my own shop and I do want to have my own dyno. Unofficial business name, Sevier Street Performance. We will be in Sevier County. Well, I will be in Sevier County, because it seems like there's nothing out here. Everything is in Knoxville or Oak Ridge or North Carolina or Atlanta. So I want to try and have a shop out here for the guys that are out here. You know, I'm not mainly going to focus on import stuff. You know, my roots are V8s. So I do want to be able to tune LS stuff, especially for the guys that LS swap 240s, S2000s, 350Zs, yada yada yada, Miatas. So I want to be able to be diverse. You know, I want to be able to work on the 2J. I want to be able to work on the RBs. I want to be able to work on it all. So, and I think that I know there's a big market for the LS stuff. Tomorrow, right after work, I'm bringing the car to work, and we're going to light right on out after work. I already told my boss when 3:30 hits, I'm out the door. So hopefully Heather is going to be coming along so she can kind of experience the dyno. So she's never really got to experience any of that stuff. So when we first moved down here, obviously all the track footage that I've got, that has been her first times going to the track, and she loves it. So I think that she'll really like the dyno. I just hope and pray that I did everything right on this thing. So far, it's been running really good. I'm sure that there's going to be things that we shake down and figure out as we go tomorrow. I just hope there's not too many issues. Knock on wood. So yeah, I've got a lot of hard work, a lot of hours, a few years. Well, I've owned the car for 5 years. So that amount of time into this car. I kind of saved this car, and it had been sitting for 4 years, so it needed a lot of work. But Angus is a trooper. She always, sometimes she'll let me down, but it's because she's hurting, lack of a better term. So I'm going to hopefully make some halfway decent numbers, and if not, oh well, so be it. We go back to the drawing board. I know there's some oil leaks I still need to fix on this, but which is minor. But right now it's kind of street tuned on about 15 pounds of boost. When I was at English Mountain this last time, it was only running about 11, but that was because I was messing with the boost controller and I didn't realize that I had it turned down. So I got it turned back up and it moves. So hopefully we can turn out some good numbers, and away we go. Alright guys, this is day 2. We made it to the dyno, as you can see over here at Freedom Motorworxx. Waiting on our turn to get on the dyno.
This Mustang we had here yesterday. Yeah.
Wave high. It's about 90 degrees right now. It's pretty hot, but I just did some last minute changing. So I got rid of the 3-bar, went to a 4-bar, but kind of had to jerry rig it for the time being just to get it dynoed. And yeah. So once I get home, I'll solder that all together and make it look all nice and pretty. But for now, it's out of the way of the axles and everything like that, so it should be good. So now we're just waiting on our tuner to get back, messing with the tune on the laptop. He's currently sitting in the air conditioning over there. So yeah, we're gonna get going here soon. Alright guys, timing is set. We ended up scrapping the 4-bar map because it was giving us a fit, so we went back to the old trusty 3-bar GM. So he's still doing a little tweaking, and we're gonna get ready to go here soon. Alright, so we had quite a bit of issues last night on the dyno, go figure. I'm currently heading back to the dyno now. It's about an hour and 20 minutes away. I ended up leaving the car there, strapped down to the dyno. The guys there were nice enough to let me do that. So pretty much what we ran into was the map sense, the 4-bar K-tune map sensor wasn't wanting to play ball, and we ended up going back to the GM 3-bar to Old Faithful there, and we got that figured out, and got the drivability part of the whole thing done, and then started doing some pulls without VTEC, and then tried to do pulls with VTEC, and VTEC wasn't hitting. And I've been having this issue quite a bit. I kept getting codes for VTEC solenoid pressure. It was a 21 and a 22, so VTEC solenoid pressure or something like that, and then a VTEC solenoid signal. So we took the VTEC solenoid off, and then, sorry for the bumpiness, towing this trailer. It's heavy and it doesn't like being empty, so it's very bouncy and it shakes the whole truck. And the tires aren't balanced either, so when you hit a certain speed it starts shaking the whole truck too. It's really annoying. So anyways, we took the VTEC solenoid off looking for metal shavings or something clogging up the screen. Couldn't find anything. And then we checked oil pressure on the outgoing side of the solenoid, had no oil pressure. And then we had checked oil pressure on the ingoing side and had no oil pressure. So then we came to the conclusion that I have an LS VTEC head, and I didn't pay any attention to that. I thought it was just a GSR head, and I probably should have known better, but I didn't. So more learning curves. So if you ever get a VTEC head, always make sure that it was not used on an LS VTEC setup. And yeah, so we ended up running an oil feed off of one of the main oil galleries on the block to the head, and lo and behold, VTEC works. And man, let me tell you, is it loud. So those Brian Crower Stage 2 turbo cams that I have in that thing are freaking awesome. So currently on my way back to Oak Ridge, and we're gonna see what kind of numbers we can put down. So when it finally cracked VTEC, we hit the 250, 260 mark on wastegate, which is like 6 or 7 pounds. So it's gonna easily make 400 horse, and if it doesn't, it's probably because it broke. So I still have my doubts on this engine, but we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna, after we get done dynoing it, if it lives, I'm going to drain the oil, check for metal, and hope for the best. So tonight there's a big event at English Mountain. I may or may not go to with the car. I don't know. It all depends on kind of how things go today. I'm probably not going to be very competitive because I don't have any slicks. So, and that's a very slippery track. But if anything, I can enter the hard tire class and hopefully hope for the best. So, we'll see what happens. Unfortunately, it's like 89 degrees, but mainly that would be my fiance texting me. Mainly it's gonna be driven probably during the daytime like this at 89 degrees. So hopefully it doesn't affect it too much when it starts cooling off, but I was really kind of hoping we were gonna get it tuned last night while it was kind of cool outside. So yeah, we'll see you back at the dyno. guys, we're back. We're letting it warm up a little bit. So we got an LS VTEC GSR now. So now that the VTEC oil gallery is doing well, we're gonna listen to the VTEC. It cracks loud. So let's get at it. Wastegate.
307.
330 horse, 217 torque. But if you see how straight the line is, that means we're spinning on the dyno. These tires are old as shit, so it's probably definitely time for new tires. Didn't like that.
What did it do? Did it spike real hard?
Woo! That's a lot of smoke, dude.
There's how much fuel. I'd say it's plenty of fuel. Yeah, we're throwing chop up. I better
say it's leaving too hard,
Yeah.
you could lower it down. Or if you need more, you know, some tracks block more, or you're on slicks or whatever. Pretty simple. Honda has a few more things you can adjust on it, but same principle. Actually, it seems like this works easier. Let me smooth some stuff out and put your distributor back in it.
Okay. What's going on, guys? So here it is, Labor Day. It's Monday. We had a few more issues on the dyno. The other day we had a few issues with it breaking up real bad if it got over 10 psi. I would have tried to post this video up, you know, on Sunday, but Heather and I decided that we were going to have a little bit of a day on the lake, and I went and got a little bit burnt yesterday, so a little tender. But we ended up making 400 horse on 14.5 pounds of boost. And the breaking up issue ended up being that my laptop, for whatever reason, loaded 2 tunes at the same time, and every time he would make adjustments, it would make adjustments to the tune that was kind of hidden in the background. Don't know why, but it did. So we ended up getting that figured out and pretty much maxed the efficiency out on this turbo, which is a 5431 precision. And this setup is still kind of outdated. It's a really old Greddy intercooler and Greddy intercooler piping. So it's a little small. I don't have very big intercooler piping. The turbo is pretty small, but ended up making 400 horse, which was the mark that I wanted to make. So I cannot be any more excited. I was so happy. The actual dyno sheet says 387, but they said that their dyno runs about 15 horse to 20 horse less than what it actually is. So they're working on getting the update so it can be spot on. Freedom Motorworxx, those guys over there, JT and Mike, they're phenomenal guys. Mike and JT both bent over backwards to try and get my car where it needed to be. Honest guys, great guys. They definitely have my business. So I would have done a little bit of driving around. I might still do a little driving around today. I gotta wash this thing because it's full of fingerprints and such. So just from it being on the dyno. But yeah, we ended up scrapping the idea of the 4-bar K-tuned map sensor for whatever reason. It didn't really want to play ball, so we went back to Old Faithful, to the GM 3-bar. And then we found out that, like I stated before, that the head that I have on it, I guess, was set up for LSV tech, and I didn't know it. So a little bit of troubleshooting there. Again, Mike and JT both did wonders on trying to get that diagnosed. So pretty much it's now an LSV tech GSR. And with the Brian Crowder cams that I have in it, the stage 2 turbo cams, VTEC cracks so loud. It is awesome. So I could not be any more pleased with how this thing turned out at all. I mean, it's incredible, totally different animal than what it was before. And everybody that has had their hands in this project, thank you again. Thank you to Heather for being supportive of this whole thing. You know, my buddy Keith, the guy that originally tuned it when I first got the car, Mikey up there in Chicago. If you're in Chicago, go see Mikey with M-Spec Tuning. He's a phenomenal tuner with anything you have. And let's see, who else can I thank? You know, obviously Freedom Motorworxx. All the guys at English Mountain that helped me out on finding Freedom Motorworxx. I can't even come up with who else. My buddy Mitch, he helped me out with some of the stuff too. My buddy Roman, who helped me do a little bit of a street tune on it. We were trying to get it dialed in. We were having problems with VTEC. We couldn't figure that out, but now that we finally figured out that it's an LS VTEC head, it works phenomenal now. So to anybody that I have forgotten, thank you. You know who you are, and I hope you really enjoyed this video. I got a lot of hours, a lot of headache, a lot of bloodshed, sweat, tears. I'm sure this isn't the last time, but as of right now, I could not be any more happy with Angus. Angus is back. This car is freaking rowdy. So for only being about 400 horse, it's a rowdy car. So again, thank you for everybody. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.